I'm on a bus now going down to show you a little church that is inside a large church. Francis repaired that church. It's one of the ones he did, and he would go there and pray and sleep, and it used to be all in the country. And there are trees where I am now, but actually most of them have been chopped down, and I think Francis would have been really sad because he loved nature, he loved animals, he loved the birds, and he was even preaching to the birds, telling them, God loves you, he's given you food, you should rejoice and thank God with your singing. And then after he said all that, all the birds went wild and started flapping their wings and singing. So this church, which I'll show you in a moment, is the small church in the big church. This is the back end of the church. It's where Francis repaired it, and it's alongside San Damiano and other places. So he needed somewhere to sleep, and somebody who owned this land said they could stay here and use it as their own. And Francis didn't want to have any land, but the owner said, no, don't worry, you can just pay rent. And the rent was one large basket of fish per year. And then they would give him a receipt, which was a container of olive oil. So basically they swapped gifts and called it rent. And it was for this building. In another episode, I told you about St. Clair, who'd left her family. She ran away during the night to come here, to this building. And it was here that Frances took her hair off and cut it short, and then she got rid of all her normal clothes and exchanged them for the plain brown robes like Frances had. Claire was only 19, and from that moment on, she joined Frances's way of life. Do you wonder why they built this enormous church over the top? Well, some will say that it's because it was to protect that church. It was a very old church. Remember, it was 800 years ago that Francis died, and he had repaired it. It had already gone, it was completely destroyed before that. So he'd repaired it already. So you can imagine then how much older it was. And it was already, getting destroyed. And so over time, it would continue to do so. Having a church over the top would protect it. I mean, maybe they went a little too far. But when people come here, they don't usually come for the grand basilica itself. They come for the small, plain and simple church. Now this, if you see, is the nativity scene with Mary and Joseph and baby Jesus. And that first started 800 years ago by Francis, because he was saying Christmas should be a time of excitement. There's a story and a drama that's unpacking here. And if we just tell the story in speech, that's boring. And so he found a way to enact it out, to get people to get dressed up, people to get involved in the story, and then there was more excitement, and they could see the relevance of that. He loved making things visual. I think deaf people would like that. It's good to be visual. And I think Jesus is a bit the same as well. So when Jesus came, he came to embody himself, to show himself really, really in the physical being. That's being visual, to come and show yourself, to show how to live, to show how to look after each other, love each other, care for the animals like Francis did, to look after the birds, to care for all those things that God created, to love God, to love each other. So it seems to me that that's a very powerful and visual, simple message. I'm getting tired now. I'm going to catch that bus and go back up the hill. Whew. They really need more trees down here.